All right, good evening, everybody. Today is January 12th, 2023. Wow. I wonder if I said that right last week. I don't know if I did. Anyway, so if you guys have any questions, hit *6 on your phone. We've already got a bunch of people on here. Chris, do you have anything that you want to say, you want to start off with, or you just want to go straight into questions, or what?
Just that I'm working on a little bit of a chest cold right now, and my stepdaughter made me she made me a hot toddy with some, I think it was honey Jim Beam, and I said, no. I said, you can make it without alcohol. Go ahead, I'll drink whatever you got. He brought me a glass of hot tangerine juice that had the lemon, or the peels. Peels were actually ground up. She made like a tea out of the stuff and threw some honey in it and put some other stuff in. I said, just bring it to me, I'll drink it. She said she'd seen it on TikTok, so she whipped it up for me and gave it to me, but I still have a little bit of a cough trying to get this stuff out of my chest. Today I was getting a CT scan with contrast and an ultrasound and an EKG, and I won't know nothing till Wednesday. But they're on this quick. I'm at the University of Tennessee and seeing a heart surgeon, and they're on it. They're on it. The VA would have been like, okay, well, we'll schedule you a CT scan, like 3 months down the road, and they don't even want to they didn't even want to send me to a cardiac doctor, and I'm out here, man. They're jumping on it. I have fun with this. So when they went to admit me in, I signed all the papers with it. She said, I don't know if your insurance will cover this $110 copay. I'm not supposed to have any copay at all on anything, medicine, anything. And I said, or she said, or would you like us to bill you? I said, well, you won't be billing me, but you can go ahead and send a bill. I said, I'll take care of it. I signed it all, and I asked her when it was over. I said, could I get copies of those? The documents I signed. And she said, oh, hold on a minute, I'll make copies and I'll give you the originals. So I was like, yeah, cool, thanks. So I got the wet signature copies of the contracts. So I will be working this up. There's a lot going on with this, the W-4. People are claiming that it's, and I've heard from a lot of people, claiming that they're getting word back rather quickly, and the actions are being taken fast. There's also a thing going on where and this has been going on for a little while, I guess, but it's the printer with the magnetic ink and the checks, and you're writing. They're not really checks, but they look like checks and they act like checks, kind of like the 1099 is. And there's been a lot of people with success with that. I mean, you got a bill from the IRS, for $4,000, and you send this stuff in for $50,000, $10,000, or whatever, and they're clearing the tax debt, and they're sending them back to Hauser. So far, I've heard of a mortgage that was paid off this way. About a half a dozen car notes were paid off this way, and some credit with some credit companies. So this week here, I'm getting in contact with a lot of the people that do that. But you got to be really careful with this stuff.
Yeah.
You really do, because they may do this thing and send you the extra, and then you find out later on down the road they come back at you.
Yep.
It might take a year, 18 months or whatever, and you find out that this process that they're doing, is getting the feds knocking on their doors. Or how long you're going to be able to do this before that gets shut down. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. I've heard a couple seminars, more or less. One I was in and listened to. Was interacting with it, and having us all explain. This is what we do. Does it work? Does it work? Yes or no? If it works, that's great. If it doesn't, what did we do wrong? This whole thing that we're doing, we're a unique bunch of folks. And this whole thing that we're doing it's experimental. How is it that some people are getting things taken care of with the coupons and some not, or the 1099A? Some are and some aren't. You just don't know. So we're going to learn. Life's about learning. Never stop learning. But yeah, there's some really high-speed stuff going on right now. And we spoke Monday night about forming some kind of site or a channel or something that people that have success stories of all these various projects or programs, you'll be able to go there and look. This is what we did and it worked. And this is what we did and it didn't work. But this was the reaction that we got. So, and it's basically going to be a place where people that have success stories that are hardcore doing this stuff can get together and talk and share their information. So that's something that's going on. But I did hear today from Mitch at the Treasury, and it was a brief conversation. And basically, he passed me off to, for lack of a better word, handler. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to get a call from this new guy that's taken over, and he didn't come straight out and say it. But he said my paperwork looked perfect, and this is really looking up. So it was, it wasn't a confirmed yes. But I sure felt good about it. Just knowing that I did it and that I was successful doing it. I'm not even an accountant or a banker or any of that. Just having it done was a challenge and a blessing, and just being able to do it. But it sounded, the conversation was brief. I was driving down I-40. We had a tornado come through our county north of where we live. Went through Bainbury and White Pine, Tennessee. Flipped a trailer over, so I was talking to him as all the rubberneckers were looking over at the westbound side. So I didn't talk to him for too long. He just said I'd be in the call tomorrow. But a lot of my questions I should be able to get answered at that point. If this is a new handler and a new phase of what it is I'm doing, I couldn't be going to this new guy because he knows more about what we're doing than what Mitch knows. I don't know, but I should find out tomorrow. I should get a call and find out tomorrow. But I'm like I always say, y'all, I'm trying to keep you up to date on everything, anything and everything that's going on. Still nothing from the Tennessee Supreme Court. They listened to no cases last month, made a decision on the 9th of December on one case, and they're not even scheduled to listen to anybody for the next, they haven't scheduled anything at all, but I do know that January, February, March, they haven't even scheduled anything, at least ones that they posted. So I'm pretty irate about that. They need to make a decision. We need to make a decision on this soon. A lot of things I'm hoping that a lot of this stuff falls in place all at the same time. You know, I'm up in banking and the Supreme Court's overturned and, you know, everything else that we're doing. I hope it hits all fulfilling the foundation all at one time. But if you want to get into some kind of Q&A or you've got anything, you got anything, Tad?
Yeah, I want to ask you, you say you're having success with the W-4 process, but there's different ways of doing it. One of them is you don't sign any of the forms, and then you said, well, no, you have to sign the forms. These successes, which way are they doing them to get the success, or does it matter?
I don't know, because, you know, some people can be using the whiteout and having something done,
right.
And you know, being successful or not signing it and be successful. I don't know. That's what this, you know, setting up an area or a meeting place for people to go when they're having successes or even just minor successes, because then they can share the information. They're minor. You know.
Well, if you guys want, I can post
here,
that.
There was a lady here not too long ago that was talking about how she went in and challenged the jurisdiction of the court and was successful. There's people that went and weren't successful at all. And then there was
right.
people that, you know, I went there, man, and I said this and I said that, and then he started talking over me and, you know, and just pushed it on through.
So I got an email saying that you're hard to listen to. I guess your volume's kind of low. Is there any way you can, I don't know, get closer to the mic or up your volume or something?
You see how, on the videos, you see how close I get.
There you go.
You know, I'm using the mic on my phone, and I got my phone set up. A lot of times, those videos, when I first post them, the first bunch of messages I get is, where's the sound, man? I can't hear it. Well, that's because it hasn't finished downloading yet. You know, I could download a video, Tad, and I have here in the past, download the video, and before I get it downloaded to where it's actually up on there, right, there'd be 140 people already watched.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're already watching it or showing that they're watching it. It's 130 views before I even get a chance to even review it on the channel myself. So, and they start out quiet.
Well, I think this person was referring to the call.
Oh, in the call?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd pass that on.
Oh, all right.
So anyway,
I'm sorry, I'm not speaking loud enough. I'll try to.
That's all I got.
I am, you know. Yeah, I am speaking through the mic on my headphones.
Okay. Well, let's go to our first caller here. I think somebody in Portland, 503. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hi there.
Hey, good evening.
Hi, Chris. I was just calling. I had a question about the W-2 from my job. Like, do I just, disregard that when it comes in, in the mail? Because I'm not a taxpayer.
Well, yeah, I always tell people to do this. Even, you're never, whether you're paying taxes or not paying taxes, you're not a taxpayer. It's, do you know if you're not, or are you unaware of that?
I know that I'm not.
I've never been a taxpayer. It's always the trust that does that. What I had suggested to my brother and his friends at ConAgra was to do this at the end of December so that they could file on that year, that whole year, and then they'll stop taking the taxes out in January. That's the best time to do that. Because if you do it like, say, in February or March, you're going to eat what they're going to take out. You're not going to be able to file it after that because you're saying I'm not. Only United States citizens are taxpayers. They're the only ones that are qualified to gift. So, yeah, what I would suggest is file, but file as the beneficiary. Okay? If you file and sign with the beneficiary signature, then they know, the contract shows that they know that you're the beneficiary. They know you know. That's what that's about. If every taxpayer is a Cestui Que Trust, and the Cestui Que Trust is your all caps name, then it's the trust that pays. Once you identify as the beneficiary, you can actually sign it, and then when the IRS calls, say, look, man, I can't make any decisions. You have to do that trusting. If the taxes are due, then get them from the trust. What do I care if they take the taxes from the trust? As long as I'm not having to write you a check, what do I care? That's where that's at. So, I would suggest you do it. Go ahead and do last year's, but sign it with the beneficiary signature. And then after that, do the W-8. Do the W-8. You can do the W-4 and do it exempt, right? But that still means you're a United States citizen. That's why I do an 8.
W-8 form,
Said, there was a comment in YouTube. The guy was like, I told my job about the W-8, and they said I filed an I-9 when I hired on, and so that means I can't be a foreigner. Look, when you did all that, they didn't tell you that you were acting as a taxpayer or act as a trustee. Trustees are the taxpayers. Your trustee is as its own trustee. It's actually kind of as itself. So that's why you want to always identify who you are. Be the beneficiary. Then you can turn it around. The IRS wants to audit you. What are you auditing me for? I'm not even supposed to know taxes are due.
Right.
And you're not. You all out there as a beneficiary, you're not even supposed to know taxes. That's the job of the trustee. So I'd go ahead and do the taxes, but after that I'd stop. You need to get them to stop taking money out of taking your taxes pronto. That's the first thing you want to do is get that W-8 file. You need to, when you talk to these people, they need to realize that when you do the W-8, when they do the W-8 on you, they don't have to match. This is perfect for the small business. You're in a shop of, a machine shop of 60 people or 50 people. You got a small business like that. If you're not taking taxes out on your employees, they're making better money. They're taking home the pay. And you're not having the matches. You got to match, you got to do all the other things. Match the Social Security. But not for taxes. I hope did that answer your question?
Yeah, they are saying that they're taking out Social Security and then Medicare, I think.
Yeah.
out of my paycheck.
They're going to take that. They're going to take that. They're going to take that out. They're going to take all. The only thing that they withhold is the FICA taxes, and in most cases, that's the big hit.
That's the what?
The
Right.
FICA. The FICA. 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 FICA taxes.
You said that's the big one?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where they hit you the hardest. My brother is paying $250, $300 a week
Dang.
in FICA taxes. Yeah. And that's why that's what you'll stop. You'll still have your insurance. They'll take out for your 401. They'll do all that stuff. The only thing that's going to stop is the FICA. Well, whatever you're paying, your company has to match.
Mhm.
So you're saving the company money. The employees are happy. The company's happy. I don't know why all these places don't do it. Because it's all voluntary. All taxes are voluntary. There's been plenty of freaking commissioners of the IRS and the Treasury say that. If they're voluntary, why are you volunteering?
Right.
That's what the W-8 does. It stops you from volunteering.
But I should just submit them at the same time?
You can do the W-8. You could have done it at the first of the year and stop them from withholding. What they're withholding on you now, you won't get that this year. So I would suggest doing the W-8 ASAP.
ASAP, okay.
Yeah.
And I have one more question. I want to pay my rent with the 1099 form, and I just didn't know, like, what federal, statute I could use, if, like, they don't.
It's the document. It's the documents that you have to fix and file. Well, actually, it would be your. If you wanted to stay in your place and rent, then what you got to do is you got to get the management of your rent and sit down and get them to agree to take a 1099 for a year's worth of rent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to. They're going to be your trustee.
Right. Yeah, I have a 9-month lease. Yeah.
And ask them if you can pay those last 9 months with a 1099A, and you'll be the borrower, the treasurer will be the lender, and the management people will do the rest of the stuff: the OID, the 96, the 40B, the 8888, and 9291. They'll fill all that out, but it'd be wise for you to be savvy in how that's filled out too, so you can talk to these people that's never done this before. Well, look here, manager guy, this is how you fill the papers out. Here, I'll give you examples. I'll make copies of them, give you examples like it looks like.
Right. Can you repeat the forms again? I didn't hear you clearly.
You're going to need a 1099A. You're going to need a 1099 OID. You're going to need a 1096, a 1040V, an 8888, and an 8281.
Okay.
And that listen, y'all, that 8281 might be the reason why this stuff's not coming back. The 8281 is like a designator. It's a designation form.
Okay.
Could be what's not coming back. See, when we did this stuff in 2015 and 16, we didn't need the 8281, but I've done a little research here in the last week, and the UCC requires it. It's a part of the code, the commercial code, that requires that 8281 to be used. And that could be why the checks aren't coming.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I didn't know this, but I was talking to someone a few weeks ago, and they said it could be the 8281. And then, pointing me in the direction. Yeah. That could be the top of the sandwich right there. All that stuff that's in. I'm not sure, but after I researched it and seen what the UCC was saying about it, and how the form, the looking at the form and looking at the directions or the instructions manual that usually come with every form. I got to thinking, that could be it. That could be the reason why they're not completing the process. But you would think that when they see it coming in, well, we need to do something about this. Send them back to the people on the address or the trustees and say, look, you got to amend this and send it back. Or write to them with send them an 8281 with what's already in there. Attach this is an amendment to the filing. Attach this 8281. So I'm suggesting do that now. If you're just now doing this kind of stuff, send it in that way. And you don't have to do the 8888 if you don't want to direct deposit it. You can have them send you a check, treasury check. But, yeah.
All right, so does that answer your question?
Yep, it does. Thank you.
Whoops. Still learning these controls. All right, let's go to 707 area code.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Chris. Hi, Tad.
Hi.
Okay, I have we sent in our 1099As through the fire system about 90 days ago. And the fire system, are you real familiar with that or not?
Is it electronic?
Yeah, it's electronic, but it's
filing.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a little different. It goes direct in. Okay, so it only allows the 1099As to go through, and not the rest of the forms. So we had to mail the rest of the forms separate.
Mail the rest of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I always suggest sending that in, folks, because you're putting a wet signature on the back of that. It's like these coupons and things. They're going out and they're selling those.
What do you mean?
Who's I was talking to? I was talking to somebody recently.
Can you speak up a little?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can sort of hear you. So, but my question is, because it went in through the fire system, which is what the banks and stuff use, we thought that would be more secure.
But the bad thing about it is you can't sign the back.
Yeah.
That's why paper is the best way to go, because that's what makes the money. When you write a check, there's supposed to be money in your account. It's your signature on the check that gives it value. We, the people, back the money, and that's how that is. So.
Okay. Well, let me finish this scenario, and then.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so. Okay, so you're saying that the fire system is no different than any other electronic system, or?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I get to send it's better to send the paper because you got to endorse the back of it.
Okay.
I can take a piece of notebook paper and put all the information on it that's on my check. I can draw it all out with an ink pen and make a check.
No, I understand.
And I can okay. So that's what I'm saying. It's better to do that. Have they contacted you to let you know that they got it? They got the filing?
Well, no, I have not received any notification, but I've been calling them. We sent them in a batch of 30 through this electronic system, the fire system, and so someone else in the group has been calling, and they said they told him that they could.
You're acting as a trustee, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or did you send in 30 on your own?
No. I didn't do it. I didn't send them in. A friend of mine sent them in all together. So he included mine and a bunch of others.
Yeah.
Okay. So he called to see if his, where his was, and they said that they could see it, but that it had not been processed. So, yet. So I called today and got through, and she said that she could not see mine, and I said, well, somebody else said that they could see theirs, that it was in the same batch. And I said, should I be worried? And she said, no, but she says that they're behind. And then I heard in one of your videos that said that sending them through the 1099As, sending them through should not take as long as 90 days, that you thought that was too long.
Well, y'all need to remember that I was doing this when I say 90 days. It's going by what I did in 2016. It didn't take them that long to do it, and they are behind.
Yeah, that's what she told me.
They're backed up. Every government place is backed up.
Yeah, that's what she told me. She said, but the original, I didn't realize that he had sent them 90 days ago, and I told her, I thought it was more like 50 days. So she said, oh, well, she says, give them up to 90 days, and she says, call back 90 days. So then when I called the person that had put them through the fire system, he says, no, it's already been 90 days. So now I'm concerned that she can't see it, and it's already been 90 days. So I'm not sure what to do.
Well, your trustees did it all. Okay. There's really not much you can do. It's sit back and wait or call. Do like you did. Call them. Hey,
say that again?
That's my thing.
I'm sorry. I say that again.
You can call them. You can call them. That's about all that you can do. Call them and try and talk to somebody. Other than that, wait. Wait. Like she said, they're backed up. Believe me, this is the first time I've heard that. You just gotta wait.
That is the first time, or not the first time?
No.
Hello?
I said it's not the first time I've heard what you're saying, or that they're slow and it's late and it's been a long time. That's what this is about. This is about waiting. You got to remember, folks, we're dealing with the government, and the wheels of bureaucracy turn slow. So,
have you heard of any success stories that have been the 1099As have been processed through the fire system?
No, this is the first time I've heard of it through you. But it sounds like a lot of these other, there's 1099A.com. So if it's filed and they've said that at one time they had eyes on it, then it's down there. If they can't say they find it now, you're just working with somebody that's not even looking for it, probably.
No, she went away and seemed like she was looking for
it. Yeah, you're lucky you got a hold of anybody to call me that. But so it's about wait and learn.
So what do you think that since it didn't get signed? Well, I don't know if it got signed on the back or not. Maybe the guy that
you can't do a signature on the back of an electronic form. That's why I say you got to use that paper.
Okay. Well, being that said, so does that mean it probably is not going to be processed?
No, it's already said that it hasn't been processed yet. It's different when they say, no, we're going to send it back to you because it's fraud or it's, frivolous filing or, you know what I'm saying? They tell you all that stuff. It was just frivolous filing. Okay. Then why don't you give me back my document?
Yeah. If
it's not worth anything, then why don't you tear it up? They don't, because it's money. It's transfer of electronic funds. I wouldn't suggest doing a 1099-A without sending in a hard copy that you monetize. That signature monetizes it. When you sign the back of that 1099-A, that 1099-A becomes money. These checks that the folks are printing off, $400, you get a printer and a special ink cartridge, 100 checks. The program to help you design them.
Well, being that it's already 90 days in, is it too late for me to go ahead and send it again with sign it?
I would wait.
Hello?
And see. Do you hear me? I would wait and see.
Yeah.
The reason I'd wait and see is because you find out if this works. Whether it works or whether it don't, you're going to know. And if it works, then cool. We tell everybody to file that way.
Well, the problem is but the problem is I sent this in to pay for my past due mortgage, and I don't want to get foreclosed on.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of ways to hit those guys.
What?
They're talking about doing that. They're talking about printing out those checks to pay for that. And they're also sending to the remittance office in the Treasury.
Who is?
These coupon stuff. People that are doing the coupons. The remittance letter, the remittance process.
Well, should I do that as well?
Instead of sending them instead of them sending it to the mortgage company or the car loan or whatever, they're sending the coupons to the remittance office in the Treasury, and then the Treasury is paying out, and they've been some success with that. So
okay, so are you saying then that I should also, in addition to this, send out the 1099 coupon signed and send it to them?
You can you can send them like that. But see, you can't do it. This was your deal. You have to have your trustee do it. You know what I'm saying? If you had a trustee file yours and 29 others, he needs to be the one to send it. When you do your taxes and you go down to the H&R Block and they do your taxes and they screw up, you come back to them to fix it. Because they're the ones that are supposed to fix it.
Okay.
So
well,
that's kind of the
my
same
bank.
way. Look, you can try whatever you want. You can do a W-4 and right.
I sent out 20 W-4s clear back in, I think, September. I never heard a peep out of anything. Nothing.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Well, it sounds like you're already trying different processes.
Yeah, nothing's
You
working.
learn,
I do have one.
You gotta think.
Well,
so
I do have one.
Does that answer your question?
No. Well, not completely, but I do have one last question. My bank is a credit union, and they follow different rules. So does that change the scenario for everything?
You know what your bank is? It's a trustee. They're your trustee. I don't care where you're banking at. If you're banking from the lawn chart and he wants you to fill out a form, put your Social Security number on it.
But I was told that they pull out their money from their members and not from my trust. So they can't use it.
There's a federal law. There's a federal law that says banks and credit companies, they can't loan you their money.
Oh.
You're not going to get it. When you go to the bank and get money, you're not going to get it. The money that you're going at the bank to get for the loan is coming from your trust account. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand that. So I just want to clarify what you told me, and then I'm done. And then I'm done.
Yeah, okay.
And that is,
if you want to get I think I did, get your trustee to amend your filing with the hard copy of the 1099.
And mail that in.
Ask me if he thinks he wants to do it to every one of them, and also add an 8281 with it.
So could that be why they're not being processed?
It could be. Yeah, it could be. It could be. It's
I'm
called
sorry?
for. The 8281's called for. They call for
it. It is.
They call for that filing. Well, yeah, whenever you do an OID, you have to do an 8281.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well,
so you can amend your filing through Firefox or whatever, and and then have him do it. Say, look, man, you gotta get. Why don't you get with everybody and get them to do the sign the 1099A, and he can and do the 8281s and amend them all. That may be what has to happen.
Okay.
I don't know. Or they could roll this all off on us when we start banking. Hey, here's this lady. Hey, Chris, you remember the lady that asked you the question? Here's your 1099.
Yeah, but you said that they backed it up, if I understood you correctly, so that your banking thing isn't going to be starting until March now? Is that what you said?
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
So you're still on course for January?
Yeah, I'm supposed to talk to somebody tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't have a lot of time. I do not want to get foreclosed.
I hear you.
All right, so we've covered your issue.
Here's what I would suggest. If you don't want to get foreclosed on, make the payments until your thing goes through.
They won't take it.
They won't take your payment. You owe them money. If they don't accept your payment, then you don't owe them.
Really? Yeah. Okay. So real quick. Wait.
Yeah.
Real quick. It's UCC 3-603. Look that up, and then try to find that in your state in the statutes.
Secretary of State.
No, the statute.
Say that again. UCC what?
UCC 3-603. It tells you that if they refuse payment, they have to discharge the debt by the amount refused. Now, that's the national. You need to find it in your state. Okay? When you can find that statute in your state, do whatever state you're in, the state UCC. Okay?
Got it.
What state are you in?
California.
Okay, look up California UCC laws. Now you have standing to bring a lawsuit against the bank because you offered them money and they refused it. And you use the state law as your standing. Don't use national because they don't recognize it. But if you have it in the state, then they can do that. So we got to move on. We got somebody else that's waiting. Okay.
Clarify one last thing. Do I have to pay the whole amount that's past due, or just my monthly payment?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't have any idea what you have to pay.
It's your trust. It's your trust that pays. You got to separate yourself from your trust. All y'all listening, separate yourself from your trust. Stop saying shit like, I got to pay this bill, or I got this bill in the mail. You didn't. You're trusted. You didn't get a driver's license. You're trusted. You didn't get a job. You're trusted. That's where everybody needs to get their head wrapped around. Stop talking.
So I just do the coupon. I just do the coupon that they sent me, right, and sign it on the back.
Yeah, you might want to look into it. What you could do is, I'm going to say this, and then we're going to have to move on. What you could do is do the coupon and send it to the remittance office,
right?
The Treasury, and see if
at the Treasury.
Yeah.
Oh.
Treasury.
Okay.
The Treasury holds your Social Security account. The Treasury holds your Social Security account. Actually, the investors hold it. But I hope that answers your question.
All right. Thank you. Yep. We got to move on. We're moving to Tallahassee. Hold it. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Oh, I just screwed it up. Tallahassee. Hit *6 on your phone again because I accidentally dropped you. If you're in Tallahassee, hit *6, please. Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead.
That's okay. Thank you very much for taking my call, guys.
Sure.
Chris, I sent you an email today with attachments on it because I sent a remittance coupon to my city of Tallahassee and for my utility payment. They denied my payment. They sent me back the payment coupon with a letter saying that the city does not accept your marked remittance coupon as an offset, payment, presentment, or discharge of your bill and is returning your documents to you. The city only accepts legal tender of payments on utility accounts and does not agree to be subject to any terms that may be included in your correspondence. And there's another paragraph. What?
Offer to pay them in silver coins.
Wait, and they shut my power off too, and then made me pay them.
So they have, or they're going to?
No, they already shut my power off. They made me pay them, and now they sent me a new bill.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not laughing.
Suggestions?
At that. I'm just. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I go down there and offer to pay it to them in silver.
I'll go down there and offer to pay them what?
In silver coins.
In silver coins?
Get you some silver coins for whatever value it is, the bill is. Buy that in silver coins and go down there and try to pay them in silver coins.
Okay, so I owe a total of $300 and something.
When they refuse, it's not going to be much. I think it's like $24 for a silver coin,
right?
Something like that. It's what silver you got. And you buy that much in silver coins, and you go down there and you pay. You're making an offer to pay them with constitutionally legal money. If they refuse to accept it, then you don't owe them. It's the same thing we were talking to the last caller about.
Right. Now, do I go to the woman directly to the woman who signed this paperwork, which is her title is administrative supervisor, treasurer - clerk's office, revenue division.
Yeah, you could take it in. Take a big bag get you a crown bag and put some silver coins in it. Take it down there and say, I'm ready to pay this bill right here.
Okay, and if they don't accept that?
Yeah, video it if you can.
You want to come with me? I'll fly you down here.
That would be fun. That'd be fun.
I know.
That'd be the way you do it.
Can I make another suggestion?
Of course.
Instead of using silver coins, since it's a public debt, they have to accept what you give them. Go get Colombian pesos and say, I'm here to pay it. Because Colombian pesos uses the dollar sign. They say, here it is.
Yeah.
Because it'll be the same result, but it'll cost less, a lot less.
Yeah, because silver's going to go to the moon in about it.
I mean, it's not going to change anything, okay? What it's going to do is it's going to give you standing to bring a lawsuit. That's all it's going to do.
Yeah.
To the whole city of Tallahassee? Come on, guys. Help me out here.
Well, I know. Now, what you could do is take the bill and, like Chris said, send it to the remittance office at the Treasury.
That's what I was thinking, too.
See if you can get them to pay that.
Okay. Do I sign the coupon on the back the same way?
Yeah. Everything you sign it with your beneficiary signature. It's all going to be related to your Social Security account.
Right. I get that. I just wanted to make sure I signed the coupon on the back.
Yeah.
Now, they mentioned it has to say money order. Should I have written money order on the coupon instead of tender for payment and then all the codes? Not
according to the definition. Look up the definition of coupon in a legal dictionary.
Yeah, I got that. Yep. I'm with you. Black Law's Dictionary, I'm with you.
You'll see what it is.
Yep.
And it doesn't even have to say coupon as long as it's detached. If you put a broken line, you can handwrite a statement out to somebody and put a coupon on it and do the little dotted line yourself. And you've created an instrument. That's an actual bond. Anytime that you have something that you can detach from an instrument is a coupon. So it doesn't even have to say coupon, and it is. That's what this is all about. But, this is our opportunity to try different things and come back next week and say, I went down there and I dropped a bag of silver on them. They wouldn't want to take it. What do you mean? It says right here, Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. It says you can only tender a payment of debt with gold and silver coins.
Right, but they took that away from us to use as legal tender. That's why I was confused.
Legal tender.
What do they want?
That's silver and gold is legal tender because
our
Constitution is our law. Our Constitution and our Torah laws are what this nation goes by. So
what's the? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask. So, what is the Treasury? Which Treasury remittance address? Where do I find that exactly?
It's at 1500. It's at 1500 Pennsylvania in D.C. and it's what is it? 1B or E1 or something like that. But if you put it in care of, you send it to the Treasury in care of the remittance office to 1500 Pennsylvania, it'll get to the remittance office. Everything goes to the mail room anyway. And they're the ones. It's the Treasury that needs more funding to, hire these more workers. Because we're about to work them, folks.
So, Chris, I'm getting more messages that you're hard to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're just feeling bad and just speaking low, or If
I couldn't be speaking really well.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me see here. How's that?
No different.
Okay. How about that right there?
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
That's good. That's perfect. That's perfect.
My headphones are not dead. So.
All right. So.
Okay. One more quick question.
Please.
Yep. One more quick question. To add on to the lady that was paying the rent, you said go down to the office and talk to them. Now I have all these forms except for the 8281. Is that printable?
Yeah, you can print that out.
Okay, and yeah. I'm the only one who I fill out the 1099A, sign the back. They fill out the rest, but I could fill them out already and give that to them and say, here, this is what you send in, right?
Yeah, you could let them fill them out. You could fill them out and then explain it to them, or you can make a copy and then you fill it out and then you let them look at it and let them fill it out. That way they learn how to fill it out. They want to give it to someone else.
I got to use my teaching skills.
Yeah, it's the beneficiary to help the trustee, especially one that's never done it, help them do that. That's why it's good. And it's good for you to know all this, too.
Well, I'm trying.
You know, that's...
How do we fill out the 8281?
Know it. You know, it's stuff that you're going to need to know. And the 8281, folks, is like super easy. It's like the 80.
Okay.
When you see it, you'll be like, I know how to fill this out.
Okay. And what about getting a Felicia was talking about. I'm sorry. One more question. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I just thought of one. I'm so sorry. With the W4 pancake, Felicia was talking about. Well, it's not pancake. Whatever it's called. I'm sorry. Sandwich pancake. You know what I'm talking about.
She was making an egg.
She was talking about doing something with your name, registering your strawman name as what does she call it? Like a fictitious name, your own business, registering your name as a business, and then invoicing people. Like when the cop pulls you over, oh, how many minutes did you take? You want to give me a ticket? That seemed to work. That's seeming to work also. Assume name, something. Have you heard of that? Have you heard of her doing that?
That's the same name. Yeah, I say do it, man. I mean, if it doesn't cost a whole lot of money, do it. Why not? You know, I trademarked my name back in 2014. And I don't know if it's really done any good of anything, but I did it. Somebody said, yeah, hey, try this. Yeah, so I'll try it. The 8281, it's an information return that the issuer of an original issue discount bond filed with the IRS. The form reports information like issue date, maturity date, interest rate, that kind of thing. That's what it does. It's about the issuer and about what it was that you created with that OID. Original issue discount bond. Think about that. It's a bond. Look up the word bond.
Right. Yeah, I got all those definitions written down.
But 1099 like to check, and the rest of it's the bond. The OID is the bond that's created. This happens everywhere, and all throughout commerce. So that needs to go.
All right. Well.
After.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
Okay,
Thanks.
541 area code. You're next. Go ahead, 541. Hello? Oh, wait a minute.
Do you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Tad. Hi, Chris.
Hey.
This is you know who.
Yeah.
The troublemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you, Tad, for helping me last week, and it was good to get in touch with Chris. I had, as you guys know, I had some weird car in front of the house at 4 a.m, and then on Sunday morning I got like a death threat through Telegram, which was extremely disturbing video of a real, it looked like a real dead body and a decapitated head, and the words "you're next" over the top of the, at the start of the video. Unfortunately, I just so freaked out, I just, blocked the guy, and so I just took a screenshot. But my question, Chris, is what does one do to protect themselves when they're, engaging in, lawsuits against powerful people? What?
Move to Texas, man. Move to Texas, everybody. Texas. No, you protect yourself. And get you a gun, and get you some pepper spray, and whatever else to make you feel safe. Most of that stuff can be empty. There'll be empty threats. But life is all about that, man. Ladies on the train gets robbed, shot, stabbed, whatever, and that's it. You gotta protect yourself no matter what, whether you're being threatened or not. Because threats pop up. I hate it. I really hate it for you. I wish I'd have been there in the bushes close to that car.
Oh, man. Yeah. I should have run out in the street to capture the tag.
No, because if they're doing that to try and scare you, and they see that it doesn't work, it's either going to escalate or they're going to go, man, that didn't work. I'm going to pray for you.
Well, I appreciate that. And
I'll pray that the Most High surrounds you with a legion of angels as protector. And believe me, you're fine.
Right.
Don't let them scare you.
Right.
You ain't safe.
Well, I do know that, I'm not afraid because my Creator, I'll be with my Creator. So it's not that scary that I'm going to stop, being myself and teaching others how to not bow down to tyranny.
Absolutely.
But another thing I just wanted to tell you, so my habeas corpus, this was bizarre. In November, the judge in the federal district court dismissed without prejudice my habeas on my trespass bullshit city arrest case. And when they sent it out, strangely enough, on the day that that piece of mail would have been in my mailbox, the mailbox was ripped off. The mail was stolen out of it. And so I got a piece of mail from the postal inspector in the Seattle division, sent me a baggie with an envelope that happened to be from the city of Eugene, but the contents inside were 2 of 3 pieces of the judge's order of dismissal. And I'm thinking,
the third one, the one he signed.
Well, so yeah, that piece didn't arrive, but it was bizarre. What is the federal district court mail doing in an envelope from the City of Eugene Attorney's Office?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah,
and so that
yeah.
you only have 30 days to file an appeal to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Yeah, I would, because they never answered it. The habeas corpus is a challenge of jurisdiction. They've got to answer it.
You might want to call them up and ask them, what are you doing with this?
I'd say, look, man, how does the judge just rule and deny with extreme prejudice? You know what I mean? How can you do that when it's a challenge of jurisdiction? It must be answered.
Right.
You can't just say, I'm not going to answer this. I'm just going to rule it's bogus and shred it. It doesn't.
Right.
That's not how it works. That's what I'd be filing on. I'd be calling. If you're going to call anybody, call the Fed and say, hey, man, this is what happened. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but this is a little shady. You know, I knew right away when you 2 or 3 pages. The third one was the order signed.
Right.
It's kind of fishy that you got anything left. They just took out the one that really made. Now they can deny it. Oh,
right.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. My friend Bob helped me draft an appeal anyway, and we sent it. We sent it out. So apparently, even with the without the certificate of appealability, which the judge also denied, I'm doing it anyway. I'm sending it to the Ninth Circuit Court, and I've got the evidence that I'm sending to them that my mail was stolen. So I'm hoping that they see that this case needs to be adjudicated, and we'll take it up.
Yeah, it does.
So I wanted to let you know and ask you that weird question, but I really appreciate all that you've done for me and that you do for everyone. And we will stay in touch.
Yeah, I'll be praying for you.
Okay,
And,
I appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
You got my number. You got my phone
Yeah,
number.
I do. Yeah,
okay.
Thank you so much, Chris. And Tad, thank you very much.
Oh,
you
you
need
bet.
to start buttons.
All right,
okay,
281 area code. You're next. Go ahead. 281. Is your phone on mute? Stage. You're next. Roxanne. Hello. Okay.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the rim.
Yeah. Everybody named Roxanne, they hear that over and over. Okay, 229 area code, you're next. $229.
It has already been answered by Chris tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
615 area code. Go ahead. 615.
Hey, am I?
You just muted yourself. Hold on. I'm trying to unmute. Dang it. What's going on with this thing?
The solution not behind the wheel.
Dang it. Okay, this might take you out of the queue, but hit *6 on your phone. I think that's the mute. Unmute.
Hi. Hello.
There we go.
Hey. Hi, you guys. Love you guys, Tad and Chris. Oh, my God. It's Diana. I was the one with the car accident business. I'm still working on that. But I want to say something. That lady with the foreclosure business going crazy, there's a man on YouTube Attorney Gene, it's a guy, Jean, Blaine, Blaine, Keating. He's got 12 videos on there. He knows the bad side of the law and the good side. He gets remedy. He talks about the foreclosure stuff. And these videos are long, but I think it's in number 12. And he talks about the whole thing, how it happened, how they did it, and how to get remedy, okay? Oh, trying to help these people out. So anyway, and the other thing is I wanted to say I care about you, Chris, and your illness and stuff like that. There's a guy, Jim Humble. I don't know if you ever heard of him. Years ago, he's passed now. He has a concoction. It's called MMS. I want to send you some, and I want to send you the MMS. Yeah, that's what they call it.
That sounds familiar.
It's a drop.
Is that the horse stuff?
No. It's an A drop in a bottle and B drops, and you put so many in water and do it so often, yada, yada. But there's a PDF. I'll send it to his email, and I'll mail it to you. I just want to give it to you. Oh, my God, I'm going to get you well, buddy. Anyway, you can read it and decide if you want to do it or not, okay? But,
cool.
Yeah, we don't want anybody sick out there. We got to be healed because we got a war. We're in a war.
Yeah,
we got to keep fighting
this.
Pardon me, I know. Yeah. You should hear my story. Oh, my God. So anyway, yeah. But my accident is they found me guilty in my car accident. I didn't change lanes, you assholes. They want me to give them $750 and pay the deductible. I'm not paying it. So I'm going to send them a conditional acceptance. That's how I'm going to do it now. And I'm going to, I want to talk about one more thing. The Treasury business with the printer and all that.
They made you an offer to get them.
I know, but here's I want to talk about the printer thing with the magnetic ink and all that. The thing is that group is a very small, tight group. They are working it through to make sure it works before they release it to the world, because people will run with that and screw it up and may ruin it for everybody, okay? That's why they're holding out and they're working it through, okay? Yeah. It will come to pass.
I'm going to try and I got a couple of emails and been invited into some things, but I've had so much stuff going on, man. It's been crazy. I'm going to try and get a hold of them this week.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I think that I'll ask them. I think I can probably get you a hold of them. I'll send you the email.
Yeah, I got it. I got emails.
Oh, you got it?
I got emails from, a couple of different. And I sat last Monday night, I was on a conference call, and there's a guy on there that was doing it, and he was, there's a couple more on there. A lot of the conversation Monday night was about that process, you know. And if it works like they've been talking about it working, it's doable, but you got to tiptoe, man. You got to tiptoe around stuff like that.
No kidding.
I would want to make sure that it worked real well. I don't blame the guys one bit for wanting to, stay low key and figure it out right. But because you're right, anything that fires us off, man, is it's doable. And I guarantee you, if they're going to let us do this, it's going to be profitable for them. All this stuff, they're making money.
Right.
We may not need the IRS here for too long.
Really? I don't know. They're going to hire those 7,000. They're behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing is, we don't want people to run out and get their Xerox paper and do it on a regular printer and blah, blah, blah. Okay, they can get that and go, oh, this is fraud. Let's shut the whole damn thing down. It has to be done perfect.
Yeah.
The way they do it with the results. So I don't know. I just don't want to screw it up with the rest of us. What?
All right.
Thank you.
I'll know more about it next week or two.
Okay, I'll send. My email is apronparty@yahoo.
Okay.
It's coming to you. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, send it and I'll look at it again.
512 area code. You're next.
Hi there.
I am so excited that I get to ask my questions and to meet you. It's such a joy. And by the way, Chris, I am praying for you, and just believe him. By the stripes of Jesus, you are healed.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the prayers, and I can sure use them.
Well, you got them. You definitely got them. I have some different questions, and hopefully I can ask them in a way that the answers are very short, so I don't take up too much time. I've watched all your 1099 videos. I'm in the process of watching the next series on conditional acceptance. And my question, first one is, we have a construction loan. We're building a home. I wanted to know if you had any insight on timing. Should I wait until we have, completely drawn down all the money off the loan to do some of the 1099A, or should I do it now? I just didn't want to risk possibly them saying, oh, okay, we'll take it, and we're going to cancel the rest and figure out how you're going to pay for the rest of your house.
Yeah. That's something you should study on and see what's best. Because, not everybody's that's the best solution for it,
Yeah. Okay.
You have to think about what's best for you. That's
true. And there's more than one path to go down. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what's
best
for you. Really. But how soon do you want to pay it off? Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd like to walk in debt free, but I don't have to.
Yeah. You want to be rid of the headache sooner the better,
Mhm. Yeah.
But it's always best for you, and if your spouse is a junior spouse, he's got to be in agreement with it too,
Yeah, and he is. Okay,
cool.
so
I'd like to hear when you guys there's couples out there that are on the same sheet of music with this stuff. That's two brains. Okay. That's two brains working,
Yeah, well, I have to say, he lets me do all the heavy lifting and research, and he says, I trust you. If you say it is, and it is. I'm like, okay, here we go. But I listen to you, and I want to learn as much as I can, because I, too, want to be able to help people and the people around me as well. So question tied to that, though. So I'm wondering, can I use someone that I know as a trustee in the role of like a property manager, from the standpoint of, hey, I don't want to, can you go out and, buy the furniture, buy the appliances, secure, the pool company, the pools. Can I give a 1099A to someone to act in that capacity, and of course when they file the forms?
Like your broker.
Yeah.
Be like they'd be a broker. Yes, you can.
Great.
They come to them.
Yeah.
They come to them and they get you. They take a percentage. You can have them do it, minus their share for $200,000, $300,000, and then buy something on $260,000 and spend the rest of the money fixing it up or making improvements and keeping a portion of that yourself.
Awesome.
Because you were the contractor.
Oh, okay. So kind of doing it, they're the broker and I'm the contractor?
Yeah, you could say, here's what I want you to do. I want you to help me. I want you to be my trustee. I want you to be my trustee, and I want you to help me have this house built. And I had a ladybug slide down in my cup here. They're going to get it out. You can have them actually be the contractor and build your house, finds the land, and does the improvements, have them build the house, and they'll be paying the contractors out of it.
Okay.
And in the end,
do they need? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I cut you off. You weren't finished. I'm sorry.
Okay. You can have them be the administrator, the trustee, the administrator over the whole thing, and have them pay for the contractors and do everything, buy the piece of land, do it all. And then what's left over, you guys could pocket.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Oh, perfect sense. I'm excited because that was what I was hoping the answer would be. Now, do they need to set up a special bank account or a different bank account for the funds they're going to receive from my trust?
Yes, that your trustee at least has a beneficiary bank account. I know some folks that have had this going through these different processes have checks go to their LLC. They'll actually use the EIN, have an account, a living trust or something like that kind of account where your money goes into it. And then the trustee would send you the money, or they would send the guy who's doing the pool, the one who's doing the landscaping, the carpenters, electricians. They would pay all that out of it.
And so when you say beneficiary account, what is that? How is that different from just a regular account? Is it just the name that we use to sign?
It's where you go to the bank and sign the signature card as the beneficiaries.
Okay.
And then you have a beneficiary account.
Perfect.
To open an account at a bank, you're the authorized representative. You're acting as if you are the trust. But you can't do that. You can't be the beneficiary and the trust at the same time. That's why you want a beneficiary account. And then once they accept that, anytime, like when I was checking in at the UT hospital, when I went in there and I signed beneficiary. As soon as they accepted that contract, they agreed that I'm the beneficiary of the trust. Now they have to do what's good for the trust. This $110 copay thing, she's talking about refiling. I'm going to refile it, and if they refuse it, I'm going to say, you're the trustee. You're supposed to take, how does it benefit the beneficiary if I got to pay $110 out of my pocket for a copay? And that'll go away. That's what I'm talking about. Once you know who you are, then you'll know what you're capable of. And it's different. Your whole attitude will change.
Yeah.
I'm the king. You know?
Yes, you are.
Believe me, the king can have an attitude. Now, the queen gets pissed off, too. And, you know how that works.
Yes, I do.
But, yeah.
All of our kings do as well, right?
So does that answer your question?
It does. And I'll ask one more. Is it possible, I understand that at 65, right, is when the trust expires, and, of course, they try to get us to re-sign it when we re-up, when we sign for Medicaid, Medicare. But is it possible to bequeath it? I mean, knowing that if I pass away, it dies with me, and they keep the trust. Can I, bequeath it to somebody else so that when I pass away, then they legally have access to my trust money?
No. I wish it was.
Okay.
It's hard to know, but not really, yes. You can't go down there, like when you sign up for Social Security, they don't ask you who your beneficiary is, because you are. And that type of trust can't have a beneficiary of a beneficiary.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
If say the parents die, or one of the parents dies. Their minor children will get paid from their trust. Their trust will live on after they do. And then once the youngest one turns 18, or I think he might even be 16 now, that gets cut off, and the trust. That's when the trust really dies. A widow's pension. Grandpa dies, and Grandpa gets some of his, or Grandma gets some of his pension. Gets some of the money from his trust until she remarries or dies, and then they're both those trusts. That's how that would work. You can't do that, but I said no, you can't, but really you can, because if you do what I'm doing, creating this private bank, and and the reason I did that is because I had a contract with the Treasury. I either had it through the conditional acceptance, or I had it through the W-4. That's a contract too. It's a conditional acceptance, basically. But this is all stuff that you can contract with the Treasury. When you do the conditional acceptance, you can do it on a bunch of things. The $100 million bond guys, they're contracting with their bonds. And here in the near future, you're probably going to be able to get some bond paper, create your own bonds on the printer at home, and then get out there and sell them. Because that's really all you need. You don't need this special magnetic ink. All you need is bond paper. You know, it might look nice, and it might scan, but you can monetize. That's really what's happening, is getting things being monetized. So, did that answer the question?
It did. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you, and I'll keep praying for you.
All right, 518 area code. You're next. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Yes. Hi. Say, Chris, Ted, nice to talk to you guys again. My name is James, and boy, I got a whole list here, guys, but I'll try to make it quick. So I wanted to point out for the crowd, the gal, anybody doing remittance coupon 15 USC 169301 pretty much is the directions for remit.
What is it called again?
15 USC 169301.
Okay.
Like not 01, but O. Letter O, 1. Yep, it's like, it spells it out. It's the directions for remittance. It's awesome.
Yep.
And then a quick one. Would you suggest a 2-cent stamp on the back with the endorsement on the 1099A? Okay, cool.
On the 1099A?
Yep.
What's it going to hurt? Yeah.
Right, sure.
2 cents.
Canceled out, and then with with your seal.
Yeah, try it either way.
Right on. Then let me see what's most important here with me. So I'm on SSDI. I had a neck injury about 7 years ago, and so I'm wondering, what about going private and doing a trust? And I'm doing the assumed name. That was who that woman was asking about, the assumed name. That's Minnesota. It has the assumed name, and you can do it anywhere out of the country, And then you immediately said you trademarked your name. Minnesota's also got trademark. So it's you describe your sign, and then it's like you're trademarking your sign, your storefront sign, right? It's like describe your sign. Okay, well, it's awesome. So Minnesota assumed name as the Secretary of State website. It's easy to find. You can just Google assumed name. So what do you think about that SSDI, being on Social Security? Well, of course, the trust is a separate entity, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous.
Well, they're paying you from it already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's so much going private as it is separating yourself from the trust.
Sure. And so I've been kind of curious about what kind of trust to start off with. Like, I've heard of holding trust, or, is it, revocable, or, I don't know, a holding trust?
The revocable trust and the living trust. And
okay. I'll look in.
I know people, brothers, got like 12 trusts set up.
Right.
And they're on boards of people's trusts.
Cool. I'm trying to find a few folks to do a limited partnership. Have the 3 folks, to do the partnership and go tax exempt. Because how are they going to, tax Wolf and Johnson? Wolf and Smith. They can't tax that exempt. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the trust question. So now I have a quick one. So you were someone was talking about credit unions, and you just mentioned the beneficiary account. Now, I went in a couple weeks ago because I'm setting myself up for like just a huge dump, right? I just want to dump them all, just hit all angles at once, right? So I'm just I'm setting up. So I went in, so I don't have my estate EIN. That was another thing I was kind of wondering about. But it goes along with this question. Credit union. Went in a couple weeks ago, tried to open up a beneficiary account. Signed with the beneficiary signature, all rights reserved, without recourse. And banker wouldn't open the account for me with all rights reserved on it. It was the caveat that he had an issue with. And he said, I'm not an attorney, but, and I should have said, well, then are you trying to give me legal advice? No, I know that now. But, he said, I'm not an attorney, but, I can't do this with the caveat. Because all your rights are in the terms and conditions. I said, well, if all my rights are there, why can't I reserve them? And he just wouldn't do it. And I walked out kind of I guess I wasn't armed for bear. I don't know.
That's why when I signed mine, I just signed it beneficiary. I didn't reserve any rights because I use without prejudice when I'm signing something that I might be extorted or maybe later down the road extortion or I'm signing it under duress or whatever. Other than that, I don't sign a check or the back of a 1099-A. Anything that I'm trying to monetize, I sign it with only the beneficiary signature.
Would you do in good faith, done in good faith with your?
And the trust doesn't have any rights.
Would you do done in good faith? Done in good faith with your endorsement?
I don't do that. I don't do all that stuff. And the reason I don't, my signature says it all. I'm the beneficiary.
Word.
What rights am I reserved when a piece of paper doesn't have any rights?
Word.
Our rights are creator given. The creator ain't gonna give no piece of paper any rights. We give that paper whatever it's.
Cool.
So
then then I got a little pushback I got a little, insight from lots of folks, and I tell you, it was some interesting stuff, but I take it with a grain of salt. But
I would try going to another bank It doesn't have to be a credit union, but it can. And I would do it again. This time I wouldn't do anything about the beneficiary and just sign it with a beneficiary signature. Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Great. And so what about, like, if I were to do so I got a little feedback, and it was like, why would you need a beneficiary account and whatever? So if I do my estate EIN, right, so if you basically go decedent, your straw man is the decedent at that point. How would the beneficiary account, is that just for the trust, and then I would use, so the trust would be separate from the estate, and then the beneficiary account would only be for the trust?
Your Social Security account is your beneficiary account. Your bank account, when you sign with the beneficiary, the contract that I wrote today, they had an account number on it, right? It was a beneficiary. Now it's a beneficiary. Anytime the Social Security number is on anything, it's a trust business, that transaction, or an action, a trust action inside of the trust. So, as long as you're signing it that way, you don't need anything else. Go to another bank and just sign go in there. When I open up mine, I use a gold ink pen. Or not a gold ink pen, a purple ink pen. Yeah. What I did is I changed the cartridge out of the black pen and put purple. So now you can pick up pens around your house and they'll have purple ink in them. I was just doing that because, that's the color of royalty.
Right. It's a sneak attack, right? They don't see you pulling it out.
Yeah. The contracts that I signed with the Treasury, I signed in purple ink. That's how I was doing it back then. Everything was. I signed the signature card in purple ink. Handed it right to her. They called me 2 days later. Is that beneficiary signature there? I said, it sure is. And if you see something in there that doesn't have PNE period or beneficiary on it, that's not my signature. That's somebody else trying to pass. Oh, okay. Awesome. I don't know that. To this day, it's still got my money in it.
I love it. I wish I could talk to you all night, bro, but I want to be respectful of your guys' time. So I have a little the 1099A question. So the let's see here. Hand filled or printer? Best. I print nicely.
Yeah, your printer won't go through the other copies. So if you want to use a typewriter and fill them out, those old word processor, I got one that's called word processor.
Sure, those typewriters are so expensive. It's just like it just kills me. But I'm going to spring for it. Okay, 2122 for them.
What you can do when you fill these out, I say use black ink. When you fill these things out, fill them out with neat handwriting.
Yeah, I do. Then I can do all three?
There's programs now or scanners now that if your handwriting's neat, it can convert it into it. The scanner, they could scan it and do it. If you want to do it, you can do it with your own hand. But like me, myself, my handwriting's not that neat. So I'd have a girl do it. Girls usually have real pretty handwriting.
I've been accused of that type of handwriting, so I figured if I could do them all, and you do all three, but you only endorse A, right?
You can see it. If you write it, it's real legible. They don't have no problem looking at it and putting in the information in the computers. That's what they're going to do to type it out, and pass all that stuff through. So,
okay. 21 or 22 form?
All right.
Yeah, the ribbon.
Go ahead.
ribbon on
21.
crazy expensive.
Year 21 or 22 still?
Pardon me?
21 year 21 form or 22 right now?
You can choose the 21s up through March.
All right, cool. And so you're saying if I wanted to pay up, I drilled a well on my property, and it's a big bill, and so I wanted to do a 1099-A. I should not send that to the to 111 or 1111. I should have a trustee do it. Is that so?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. $1 money order. What do you think about that for coupon?
They're doing it. I've seen people put 2-cent stamps on the backs of their coupons, sign them with the old ink, and send them into the different companies.
All right. So
if I sent that into the power company, if I sent the coupon endorsed with the canceled stamp to the remittance office, 1500, and then wrote like the power company, if I had, say, less than a week, right? If I sent that to the remittance office and I sent a letter to the power company, do you know if the power company would have to hold the account because of the dispute if I just say I dispute, but they didn't get the coupon? I said
they shouldn't cut you off anyway. It's winter time.
In Minnesota, they say you got to be fully up. You can't have any back pay, and then you have to fill out, which I already have filled out, an application for the cold weather rule, where they say if you haven't filled out the application, we can shut you off if you haven't done the application. It's like, so you can let me freeze if I can fill out an application.
It's there too.
Okay, I'm going to do that. All right, guys. Man, I wish I could talk to you all night, Chris. Just say one more thing. Just say it. It's not a question. Anybody out there on the study group or sandwich group? I'm Crazy Legs, and I'm looking to network. I'm a do-it-yourself guy. I have a hard time asking for help, but if anybody feels like doing a little mentoring or a little, if anybody wants to reach out and talk to me about best practice, I'm Crazy Legs.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, 223 area code. You're next.
Was that me?
Yep.
Okay. So hi, guys. I finally waded through one of your Q&As just so I could share. I took 8 pages. I wrote 8 pages of information down since I've been sitting here on this call. I'm Emily in California. I helped Wayne Woolsey start the current embarrassing California Assembly, but at least, we were trying. What is the most important for me to take up a little of your time? So I don't know how much you guys deal, this isn't a question, but how much you guys deal with contractor bonds and why nobody ever gets this, but they're contractor bonds. It's people who write contracts. So if you assume your own name, you're a vendor. And when a cop solicits services from you from your fee schedule, you can send them a bill. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but
we were doing,
with all the I just wanted to make sure that makes sense to anybody. Everyone has been telling me, Chris, for a long time to get in touch with you. I just haven't had the time to sit through a Q&A call to actually give you my information. I have watched some of your videos, but I see why now, because there's so much information that you have and so much information that you need. But the real thing I wanted to share was the revocation of election to pay taxes. I didn't get a frivolous return when I sent mine in. And so I have a really interesting letter with a couple of payment coupons and inquiry coupons from the IRS that I want to run by somebody who knows what I'm talking about, because it's one of the most loaded documents I've ever received back from anybody. And I'm just kind of curious to bounce it off of somebody else because it's a really interesting letter.
Contact me through the website, youhavetheright.com.
Okay, I think I did that already.
Oh, you did?
I didn't tell you about the revocation.
Oh, is this Smart?
This is just Emily in California.
Emily, okay.
I think I complained to you once about you taking the $40 out of my account, if you remember that. I didn't mean to, but I know you probably talked to a lot of people.
Okay, first of all, when you say you took it out, no, I didn't. You set it up with PayPal, and PayPal.
Oh, no. I'm not complaining about it. I would say that was my bad. That was not your bad at all. That was totally me.
Okay.
It was not even totally wrong.
I get people that say that. Well, you took money out of it. No.
No. It was not me.
I know that, but I get it. I get it from people. They say that I'm doing something. No, I'm not. That's why I chose PayPal, so it can be set up automatically. So I'm not doing anything.
I apologize, and I was sorry. I apologize for it.
No, it's no problem. I'm just complaining.
Send it to Tad, and Tad can share it with me.
I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
Send it to Tad, and Tad can share it with me.
Okay.
I could do that. Just email it to me. But look, folks, I get about 130, 110 between there emails a day. And I try to respond to them, but I'm about a day and a half behind on one and about a half a day on the other. But you can send it to him, and if he shares it with me, then here's one from Tad.
Okay. That's why I wanted to wait till Q&A and let you know that I was going to send it, because you'll really want to see this. It's pretty loaded.
Yeah, I'm interested.
All right.
Okay.
That is a topic.
Fantastic. I appreciate your guys' time, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Okay, 661 area code. You are next.
Hello, my name is Desiree, and I'm in California. So all those California people on this call, I would really like to network together. I'm interested in getting a trustee relationship with each other to process our 1099s and all the other documents that are required to go with them to be a success. You can reach me at my email,
Okay, so hold on. Do you have a question for Chris?
Yes.
Okay, if you would.
So when you were talking about this 80 to 81, I pulled it up and looked at the form, and I wouldn't know how to fill it out. Do you have a template that we can look at, like with explanations about what goes where and why?
No, not just yet.
Okay.
You're the second.
Okay.
To ask me.
Pardon me, I can't hear you. Getting a little low volume.
You're the second person today that's asked me that question.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I ought to do one.
Okay.
I didn't think that, I don't know. I didn't think it was too difficult. But yeah.
Well, you're probably more used to filling out those forms and the way they word things and what they're asking to get in there. Well, so for a 1099-A to be processed by a trustee because we can't do it ourselves. So you need the 1099 OID, the 1096, the 1040V with a wet signature, and an 8888 and an 8281. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay. All of those to process.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's such a moving target, just like the 8281 just came about in the last week or two. So it's something that we always have to stay abreast of.
It's fairly easy. It's state and zip code and name and address and numbers, cell phone number, zip code.
All right, so
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you very well.
Okay.
The debt instrument information. That might be a little rough.
Yeah, you're fading out, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris,
I also wanted to let you know about your health avenue that you can look into would be www.eesystem.com.
Okay, thanks a lot.
By Dr. Michael.
Thank you. Dr. Michael.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, Beryl.
Yes, greetings, Tad, thank you, and Chris. Chris, this is one you named Granny.
So hold on real quick, Beryl. I've tried calling you back a couple of times and it doesn't go through.
I finally saw your email, Tad. I thank you for that, and I don't know why it wasn't ringing. They're trying to update the phone, and I've had several calls, and I don't want 5G, so I'm not accepting the update.
Okay.
So you try again. Some calls are getting through now.
Okay.
I can call you tomorrow. Okay. Chris, I don't know if you remember it, but a few months ago I was on the phone and on the call, and you said to email you to put in the line subject line Granny, and I did that, and a couple of other times I think, and I never heard back from you. You said that you'd respond and you'd do conditional acceptance.
Yeah, I remember talking to you.
But we never, no, only on this call.
Isn't that Proton?
Yes, but I never heard back from you.
Proton Mail.
Yeah, Beryl - One Law of Liberty, probably, at Proton Mail. No, at pm.me.
That's all.
Which is Proton Mail's exceptionally private email address.
That's where you got to go in there and get on there, and it's to see the private thing. That's probably why I didn't get it.
At pm.me, it goes to all Proton Mail. Actually, I've never had any trouble at all with anybody not getting my emails, and I do all kinds of email.
Weird thing.
Say that again. Your call is your voice is muffled.
I have problems getting through the when it comes at secure. Trying to get into the secure thing. It's probably something I'm doing.
You have a Proton Mail account, so it should get right to you. But anyway.
Sure. That's my bad. I got it starred.
What's that?
I read it and then I starred it, and I just haven't got back to you. I'm sorry, my bad. I'll read over this tonight and I'll send you a message, okay?
Okay, thank you very much. And so I have a question, Tad, excuse me. So I am wondering, as I listen hours upon hours to these calls, and I'm always grateful for them. I always pick up little nuggets from both of you and from your callers. But I am wondering, for example, with the assumed name, Minnesota assumed name, done that, been there. But then it occurred to me with all the not all the things, but most of the things that are being done, that name, we didn't create it. It's an artificial. Artifice is a thing that we really don't want to be involved in because it's an artifice. So I'm wondering why all this engagement with their system, their courts, which has been nothing but really confusion and disorientation for me for decades now. And I would kind of like some intelligent answer as to why we're engaging with them with all this. I recently about May last year, I happened to see get drift of this state national passport. So I learned how to fill it out as not a U.S. citizen, and with the application sent in my recently then expired regular U.S. passport, which I tried initially to claim on that application, not a U.S. citizen. But I made the mistake of going to the post office to do it, and so they argued with me. And so anyway, I went to the public library. I figured, okay, I found out who else I can go to get these things done. And it was the public library. I figured, okay, they're pretty friendly. I'll go there and have it processed. Went right through, got it. There were 2 warrants for my arrest out for so-called violation of 2 city ordinances that didn't even apply to anything going on my property here. And they've been trying to press those, finally making warrants for arrest on me. And I never heard any more from them about a month after I got that.
Why? It's a civil matter. Why would they even,
I know. So
like
it's
moving
driving.
violations. You can't arrest somebody for a moving violation.
Right.
I mean,
so I've been put in jail for that. Yeah, I've been put in jail twice for driving violations. They said, whatever. In court, I said that, this isn't a crime, but more than that, I'm not required to have a driver's license. Your statutes say so. I'm not in commercial driving. It's a matter of equipment size, and blah, blah, blah. That didn't matter. I still spent 3 weeks in Northern California in jail. They put me finally up into high security, and then in Washington State, I was in there a couple weeks, and so it doesn't. And what you said about foreclosure, they did a fraudulent foreclosure, but I got a nugget from you tonight on that. They refused payment. The bank refused payment because I thought. And they did the foreclosure. I lost my home. I want it back. I'm not giving it up. But that was 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago now. And I wanted to try lowering the payment. And that was at the time when Obama was saying, oh, everybody gets a modification. So, but I called and I said, okay, I want to apply for a modification. And they looked at the accountant. He said, your account's in good standing. He said, he can't give you a modification. He said, it has to be in arrears. So I called back a few times. Said I got the same thing from everybody I talked to. And I said, okay, how long in arrears does it have to be? They said 90 days. I said, so you're saying if I don't make a payment in 90 days, this makes no sense to me, then I can get a modification. Yeah. Okay. I went on day 91 to make the payment. They didn't accept it. That instigated the foreclosure, and the judge walked away with it because they also didn't have anything in the chain of title. The so-called lender had nothing in the chain of title. And so, again, here we are trying to engage with those who we don't even know, and they can do whatever they want to do. And I'm wondering why we're doing this. Where I have found out, for example, for $6,000 through like a private banker, I can get any mortgage wiped out. So, Chris, tell me. And can you give me some answers? The name isn't ours. We didn't make it. The birth certificate proves that we're not U.S. citizens. We were born in a state.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no such thing as a U.S.
You said somebody said that if you gave them $6,000, they would do what now? I was kind of losing the audio there.
What happens at the bank is you give them the note. That's the value, right? The promissory note. They take that and they actually, that means you've paid for it. They don't balance their book. For $6,000, I can tell people how to get the book balance. They just go through the process, and it works every single time. So that it's about balancing the bank books.
Yeah. Well, they're
it's not
loaning
about
you your
balancing
money.
our account, because the account's
they're loaning you. They're loaning you your money. That's why when you go into these foreclosure type situations, like today, I asked the lady. I said, "Look, can I have copies of those 2 documents that I signed?" She said, "Oh yeah, you can have the original." She made copies and gave me the originals. My wife's like, "I heard you talking to that lady about that stuff you talking about." Yeah. And I said, "Yeah." And she gave me the wet signatures. She gave me the documents, the contracts, with my wet signatures on them. Now I could say, now I can turn around and say, "Where's the contract?" "Well, we got a copy of it." "Well, where's the original?" Because they got us. Most people could probably win their foreclosures just by going in front of the judge and saying, "I want to see the wet signature. I want to see the contract with the wet signature on it."
No, I did that.
Most of the time,
that was the first thing I did when I was. And you know what? They came up with some phony court cases which are not law. Okay, and this was. And they always refer to these, that's been overridden, blah, blah, blah. And I did the historical research on that, and that was a case that came out of Seattle, and it was just trumped up by attorneys. So,
probably had nothing to do with it anyway.
Yeah, so I asked for the wet ink signature document. First thing up was refused it. And even more than that, the judge defended.
How do we know there's even a contract? How do we know there's a contract then?
That's it. And I had my son.
Tell me I owe? Yeah, how are you going to tell me I owe?
My son wrote
the contract.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, I mention all that because you said if we said that in court, we walked up to the judge and said that. No, both times I've said that. Yeah, both in Missouri for my folks when I had them put it in my name so I could try to do something with it with their house, which, by the way, by God's grace, Creator's grace, 5 years later, I'm still sitting in this house. I'm in this house. I came back and to do something with it after they both died. But so again, I'm wondering.
That's what they do. They steal your houses, man. They were doing it hardcore back in 2008. They're stealing everything.
Right. So why do we trust them? They're liars. By liars. To do anything right and waste our time when the Lord himself says you cannot serve money and me and God, the Creator. You can't do it. I've been going over and over and over and over and over in that, and I think that's our problem. We're trying to serve money and the Creator when he promises to make us sure for everything. So I'd like that. Nobody can answer that question for me. Why are we going through all their processes?
So is that your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah.
All right. Because we got somebody else waiting. I mean, we could get into this in-depth discussion all night, but that's not what I want to do.
Well, maybe
I'll get you
somebody.
an email out soon, there, Granny. I'll get you an email out there soon, Granny. All right.
Okay, there we go. I'm really not old enough to be Granny.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you both. No, everybody listening.
Arizona John.
Arizona John, how you doing, buddies?
Hey.
All right.
In Jesus' name, may you be healed, Chris. Amen.
Amen.
I was just going to add something for Beryl. Here's the $64 answer to her question is, we are children of God. Everything that is set up around this is a fiction. It's all a fiction. It's all an illusion. But why do we do it? Well, we're figuring out how to use the illusion, the fiction, and all of this. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe we could use the money to help in the Lord's work. So, there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, it is frustrating.
Well, if you get it, it's because He's blessed you with it.
Right.
But
I wanted to ask this one question because you brought it up last week and I couldn't get in. I hear everybody say any way on earth to identify ourselves, and I often say I'm an American living being or a child of God, or I've even said American state national living being. I avoid the word citizen. What is the best way?
What, to call yourself?
Yeah, to identify.
I usually say I'm the son of the Most High.
There you go. I say that on almost every.
I'm the son of the Most High. I'm a sojourner on the land. I could care less about where you want to call whatever it is it's called.
Right. That's the whole point of everything. This is God's land. It doesn't belong to any political structure.
Yeah, he told Noah, he said, go forth and multiply and subdue the land.
Have dominion over it.
Yeah. How can I say I'm an American? You know what I mean?
It's hard to accept all this on your shoulders, isn't it? That's corruption going on.
Yeah, I don't. I am where I am.
Well, I say I'm a son of God, and I'm a son of His kingdom. And I don't know how you can get anything more powerful than that.
Yeah, I'm a son of the Most High and heir to the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, if everybody on earth realized that we're all His children, we wouldn't have any wars, no famines. Oh, it'd be just like, well, it would be paradise.
Yeah, man.
But anyway.
Right,
okay, I was just I'm wondering how we're doing on a conditional acceptance. Do you know of any of those going through lately?
They all go through. If you mail them to someone, they're going to get there.
Okay, but I meant as far as as far as getting paid out.
Well, it's in the contract. Have you contracted? You done a conditional acceptance and contract with the Treasury?
I don't have one. No, I'd like to have one.
Well, you'll have to write one, and then you'll have to assign it. You'll have to monetize it, sign it. Assign it to the Treasury and do a contract. The conditional acceptance, it's mine's paid out. As far as I know, everybody that's written one who hasn't got an answer back, theirs are paid out. They're going to pay it out to your trust.
Yeah. Oh, so you would get trust credits? You get treasury credits or something like that?
Yeah, that's what you'll get.
Okay.
It'll go to your trust. That's why you need to learn how to use your trust.
Well, when we're dealing with $50 million in heavy equipment, theft, and what do we, that's a little bigger, but yet we should all have a couple $100 million in our accounts.
At least.
Well, what I was wanting to see if there's a way that I could just I can't get just the money. You have to get some credit and then go buy something?
No, you use the trust to get what you get to get it out.
Okay,
when I start banking and you need a loan, I'm going to use my trust to help you get money from your trust. Now,
I should be one of your first customers.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be fast. But
yeah. Well, I hope your call comes out good tomorrow. All right. Thank you, guys.
Right.
God bless. Bye.
All right, John. Have a good night, buddy.
Okay, Chris, that's going to do it. Everybody, thank you very much for being here tonight and participating. Go to youhavetheright.com. Sign up for a membership because we got a lot of these calls that are broken down by subject. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And that should help you out a lot. And I think that'll do it.
That's about it.
All right.
Well, y'all, thanks for hanging out tonight. Be blessed.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night.